I lived at Erica's place. That was right after he told me to start sleeping with other men.
Said address is 58 West 58th Street, home of Erica Steele. Miss Ward, when you were posing for the Broadway photographer Mo Persky, were you aware at any time that these photographs would be distributed to Ray Davioni and others for the purpose of soliciting your services as a prostitute?
No.
For the record, said address is 1529 Broadway.
Mickey's friend Ray Davioni sort of helped me.
Could you elaborate on that, please?
Well, he might have given him the idea. Given him the names of some customers.
We don't have an address for him.
Lives somewhere in the 70s on the east side.
So you're saying Mickey Jelky promised he'd marry you if you worked for him first?
That's what he said.
Said address, 155 East 47th, the Buchanan.
Please note for the record, the state of New York will be charging Minot Fraser Jelky III with 9 counts of compulsory prostitution.
9 counts?
9
She was his only girl.
pandering.
For the purpose of getting this thing underway, we'll be charging Mickey Jelky with pimping for some of Erica Steele's and Ray Davioni's girls. But he wasn't. Well, that'll be for Mr. Jelky's lawyers to prove. In the meantime, we'll have gotten ourselves a little more press.
We got him. You might as well go out and see him now. He's gonna know it's you sooner or later.
Well, looks like you won the game, Jack. Person with the worst secret gets the biggest prize.
Gentlemen, meet the District Attorney of New York, Frank Hogan.
Please, please stay seated, gentlemen. You both deserve a commendation for performing a service of the highest moral quality. Our city, not to say our entire country, is badly in need of taking a moral bath. Gambling, vice, all the things that help to erode the American way of life must be done away with. Anthony's already heard all this crap before.
Sir, if I may just say at this point that the whole idea for the investigation...
I know. Officer Jack Carroll, right? Officer Carroll's commendable responsibility and his job as moral guardian of the city has led to the astounding expose of Cafe Society Limited. The city's largest, most reprehensive vice ring, headed by an irresponsible, hedonistic
Trust fund baby.
trust fund baby named Mickey Jelky.
Sir, he didn't exactly head up a whole ring.
A deviant so cynical, so corrupt, so inwardly corrupt that he's convinced young women to sell their bodies, giving him the money so that he could pay his bar tabs at the Cafe Society joints that were his private playground. Criminals like Jelky have brought this city to the brink of scandalous ruination. And as District Attorney of New York, I intend to fight to remove this cancer from our society.
Mr. Jelky, my name is Samuel Siegel. I'm a lawyer that's been retained to defend you against the 9 counts of compulsory prostitution and living off the proceeds of a prostitute brought against you by the state.
You know that this is all a big mistake. You know that, don't you?
I know nothing except that your family retained me to defend you. And that I never had an easier time getting 50 grand bail.
Mickey, I'm gonna need help with my bail.
Okay, Ray.
Mick, I'm dependent on
I heard you, Ray. My family knows about this?
Gotham was rocked this week with the revelation of a major vice ring operating within the fabled and much envied Cafe
Jelky did not worry
Society
too much about money
5
matters, since he
women,
was heir
all
to be of an
actresses and
oleomargarine
models, and 2
fortune valued
men,
at more
one
than
an
$3 million
unemployed
bucks.
press agent, have been booked and questioned in what is fast shaping up to be Manhattan's most shameful
Early on the
prostitution
morning of August
scandal.
15th,
The
Ray was from
identity of the
DA's
second
office,
man,
burst into
said to
Jelky's
have
plush midtown
masterminded
apartment
and
arrested
headed
him
the
on a vice
high-priced
charge,
call girl
with Jelky
ring,
at the
makes
time
it
was a
all the
stunning
more
blonde, was
shameful.
apparently his current
Meet
girlfriend.
Mickey Jelky III, a big spender, an easy touch, bon vivant to the Cafe Society crowd, and mastermind behind Cafe Society Limited, a citywide vice ring that was his own personal hobby.
The whole thing was done for thrill. Jelky got his kicks by enticing beautiful young women into prostitution and then living off their earnings.
Yes. We have our star witness in custody, but we can't reveal her identity yet. But believe me, she's told us plenty, and there's more to come.
Officer, do you have any comment on your role in the arrest, sir?
I consider myself a moral guardian, protecting the citizens of New York from their own weaknesses. Exposing the decadence of the likes of Mickey Jelky is an important step.
The problem of working for a living never seemed to bother Jelky, even though he was a frequent patron of fancy upper midtown saloons and nightclubs where a drinking cost $2 even after the cover charge.
Sources have told me that the real shocker behind the Jelky Vice probe is the identity of the mystery girl who turned him in. It was none other than little Mickey's fiancée, one Patricia Ward, a Lower East Side girl whose real name is Wasatsky.
This Patricia Ward character. Did you promise her anything?
I might have. She might have gotten the idea that I wanted to marry her, but I certainly never proposed. She held a grudge against me ever since I gave her the air.
The cops have 3 little books full of phone numbers. Erica Steele's, Ray Daviani's, and yours. They also maintain you have a large pornography collection in this apartment. It's clear you were involved in prostitution on some level, so why don't you just cut the crap and tell me what you did?
I'm not a vice lord. I'm not the head of some ring. I'm a pervert.
Listen, there's a lawyer coming to see you soon named J. Roland Sala. He's called the DA and he's offering his services.
Why do I need a lawyer? Am I in trouble, Jack?
Oh, you're the star witness, Pat.
It's going to be up to Jelky's lawyer to try to disprove your testimony.
Is he a good lawyer?
Jelky, who Broadway pundits are calling the solid gold cad, apparently promised his 18-year-old harpy marriage if she would first offer her love for sale for his profit. The tables were turned on the oleo hair when he gave Miss Ward the air. But the biggest blow is to Manhattan's nightclub circuit. The DA's office requisitioned 3 black books full of names of Jelky's customers, and all of Cafe Society has suddenly decided to be out of town for the next few months.
Why'd they pick on me?
You're rich. You're lazy. You're in the newspapers. You're easy to hate.
How do you do? I'm Mr. Sala. I believe Miss Ward is expecting me.
Yes, of course. I'm Jack Cale, 19th Precinct. I broke the case.
You must be Patricia Ward. You poor girl. What this Jelky fellow put you through, I hesitate to even imagine. A girl as lovely as yourself. A budding blossom of girlhood, plucked away from her mother's home by a cad like Jelky.
Actually, I met Mickey one night at El Casbah.
Patricia, there is only one road to your redemption. I want you to be open about your experiences to the entire world, so that every schoolgirl in the country knows the dangers of modern bohemia. We must wrest triumph from the tragedy of Patricia Ward, so that history will remember the sacrifice of a young girl's virtue at the hands of the devil.
It was horrible. It was like I was living a dream I couldn't wake up from. But I'm ready now to cleanse myself, to tell my story, so that other young girls don't fall into the same traps I have.
I don't think we have a thing to worry about, Patricia. This shouldn't be difficult. In fact, it might even be exciting.
Opening day in the vice trial of Mickey Jelky III, and it promises to be the biggest event New York's seen in at least 5 minutes.
What greater breastplate than a heart untainted? Thrice is he armed who hath his quarrel just, but naked is he, though locked up in steel, whose conscience with injustice is corrupt. Mr. Shakespeare's speech is the key to this whole trial.
Pat! Hey, Pat, you gonna name all your Johns?
I am going to tell everything that happened to me so that every young girl doesn't make the same mistakes I have.
Miss Ward, how about a photo?
Judge Francis Valente, at the request of J. Roland Sala, today barred the press from the Jelky Vice trial in Lower Manhattan, and the boys are hopping mad. Star Chamber, they're yelling. Murder, he says. But one girl's opinion, mine naturally, is that it's all for the better. Hasn't Mickey Jelky besmirched the reputation of our city enough without listening to all the sordid details? This Mickey Jelky is a porky, pint-sized, no-carrot punk. He possesses no discernible talents, is not loaded with charm, but would love to be tall and talked about. Playing big shot with a flashy blonde or two is for him like stepping into a pair of Adler elevator shoes. It was his desire to get into big business like his ancestors that led to his seedy undoing. The head of a citywide call girl ring is not quite the same, as our hapless little hero has found out. There may be plenty of vice in the picture, but there is nothing big about little Mickey Jelky.
Have you ever seen this photograph before?
No.
For the record, indicate that said photograph is of a woman on a couch wearing only underwear in a less than usual pose with a stuffed clown. Well, now that you've seen the photograph, Miss Ward, can you tell me if it's you in the photograph?
No.
No, what? No, you can't tell me, or no, it's not you?
No, it's not me.
May I remind Miss Ward that she's under oath?
Miss Ward is reminded. May I see the photo? Well, it seems to me that this getup that Miss Ward is in is completely different than what she's in now. This might possibly be a similar-looking girl.
Then all we can do is ask Miss Ward to pose for the court the same as she did in the picture.
Strike that from the record. I will not have such filth suggested in my court.
You have on the witness stand a woman who admits to earning $15,000 off her body in 3 months, and you say my suggestion is filth?